Welcome to episode 1 of Reps and Raps. I am joined by the big cam guy, Kamakaze, Matt Robinson. I'm right, you know?
You are, yeah, Matt Robinson.
Yeah, well, a doctor's government, we have but yeah, and today, the aim is to run a basic session with Cam and just get to know him a little, so stay tuned.
It might be time to just focus on football for a bit. I know it needs to be heard,
Yeah.
but I don't know if I'm ready to share all them feelings yet. And to be honest, FIFA didn't make a big enough deal. You need to get me like some special card. Or I've just turned around and he's come, 10 out of 10. I was like, no. I was gassed there. Yes. Look. Yo, see, I went on. Bro, let's just run it, man. Let's just run it. You're in charge, bro.
Yeah, we'll be okay.
Do you always warm up with nothing in the bar?
Yeah, so I'll always warm up no matter what on the same, because no matter how strong you get, the process should always be the same.
Yeah.
You know, so the same way that you'll warm up when you play ball.
Yeah.
I have to get a lot of blood in my chest.
Yeah.
To be able to start functioning correctly. Do you know what I mean?
That's it's the more scientific side of it.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
So do you just do till failure? Or no, that wasn't failure.
I mean, if we do failure on that, we'd be here all day.
Yeah.
All day. Yeah, I think it's more like for me, it's just about getting blood there.
Yeah.
How long have you played ball?
My whole life, bro.
Whole life?
Like, I say my whole life, from what I can remember.
Yeah.
Like, my dad took me to Leicester games. We used to live on Filbert Street East. And if you know Leicester football, their stadium used to be on Filbert Street. So you go down one alleyway and you was at the stadium.
Yeah.
So my dad's been taking me to games from, what he says, 2-3 weeks old.
Yeah.
And then one of my earliest memories is just playing football just with my dad.
Yeah.
My brother used to have to go in goal. He was older than me. He would go in goal, and then me and my dad playing ball. So like since I remember my first actual training session, I was like 4.
Would you say like football wasn't a passion you found? It was something that was instilled in you from a young age.
Yeah. Like I think it sounds weird, like it's just my passion for football and music are different parts of my dad.
Yeah.
So my dad played football for Leicester boys back then it was till he was like 16. The normal story of someone having a horrific injury, didn't play no more. He also loved music. Yeah. So he showed me a lot of rap music, a lot of old school music, soul music, reggae music. So they're just different parts of my dad that have grown in me. So
that lived through you, kind of.
Yeah.
So you'd say your passion for both ball and rap both come from your dad.
Definitely.
I like that. Which would you say you're more passionate about?
The two basically, after a while, have gone hand in hand. Like, if one of them's going badly, it seems the other one is my safe haven. Do you know what I mean? If music's tanking it, then I'm concentrating on football a bit more. And if football's going difficult, the way that I vent it is in the studio.
Do you find that one thrives if you apply yourself to it?
I don't know, because I've never actually gone full out at one.
On one of them.
Like, it's one of them things. There was a point, I tell you, it's interesting. There was a point when Luton got promoted and we went into League 2.
Yeah.
I was like, it might be time to just focus on football for a bit, because this could be life changing. I was only like 21 at the time. And then the JDZ media happened.
Yeah.
So for me, it was like, even when I was trying not to, the universe told me otherwise. And with music, it's very much, you could do the same thing over and over and over and over and over again, repetition, and one of them hits, and then it's not even in your hands anymore, because like you say, like you walked into the gym, people say, yo, you can't go back from that, because you're always still going to be that person to them. So from when that happened, there was no going back. Yeah.
If you had to pick, I suppose, one of them to be at the pinnacle of, which
music.
would be music,
If a rapper, let's say you got a rapper and a footballer, they both go to a nightclub, right? One of them's living it up. They're both doing the same thing, both living it up, tearing it up. One of them might get seen with a girl. One of them, you say, yo, he's the man. Which one is it? It's the rapper. The footballer, he's a bad example. And
that's such a crazy way to put it, but it's true.
And that's not what I'm saying that I would want it for, because I'm a married man and that kind of things, but it's the way they're perceived.
Yeah, it's crazy how the perception is different, even though it's the same action. The two people that are both successful, and yet one of them is viewed as, oh, that's sick, and everyone is viewed as that's a negative. It's crazy. You are right, public perception. In terms of the pinnacles of that, do you think like there's a lot more for you to come to in terms of music?
Yeah, like the thing that I've let go of is expectation.
Yeah.
As in, like, there was a point probably when I started getting recognised that I was on a level playing field with men who are here now.
Yeah.
That's not gonna be me, I don't think. My thing's more about legacy now.
That's funny enough. Like I speak about that a lot. Like for me, it's about legacy, especially in training.
Yeah.
Like, I apply that same thought process to what I do and how I want to be viewed and how I want to, you know, be spoken about when I'm gone. Do you know what I mean? And that's how it is for me. But I think a lot of it comes down to my kids as well. And I think it's if you could, you've got. I want to say you've got a daughter, right?
I've got 2.
There we go, 2 daughters. So you know what? It's a good question actually. How do you balance ball, rap, and being a dad?
Above anything, like I will cancel things. I will move things to the side for my wife and for my 2 daughters. It's difficult. It's difficult, and I've had it a couple of times with my elder daughter who's 4, and she knows my music.
Yeah.
And that's one thing, you know, you talked about how you're perceived to, like how people will talk about you when you're not here.
Yeah.
That is passed on to your kids too.
Yeah,
you will be known as the children of X, Y, and Z, and is how you carry yourself throughout that time. And I think that's one thing that I'm very conscious of in my music now. Like I'm toning down the way that I talk about certain things, the way that my image can be perceived, because one day my kids will look at that and say, "Oh, it's really you, Dad."
Becoming more conscious with it.
Yeah.
It's crazy, like how I think having kids can change everything. Like as a man, the way like will change your outlook, the way you approach things, the way you apply yourself to different things. Because I suppose all of those kind of selfish inner thoughts we had about how you want to treat life kind of go away. Do you know what I mean? And it becomes like it becomes an aspect of like, how do I put my children first in this scenario?
Anytime that I'm out there, my children ain't seeing my face. I'm not reading stories at bedtime. And I'm not saying like that's the most important thing in the world, but your children
but to them
will. It is, and also they will. That's who they are at the core. If they know Dad's there all the time, that's what you need to be. You need to be there all the time.
That's a good message. It's a very good message. Yeah, absolutely. I get it. I like that, bro. When did you first do a gym session?
Would have been 15. I was involved in the academy at Leicester, right? And one of their processes, their philosophies was that a lot of the stuff we needed to do was in the gym.
Yeah.
They were, I guess at the time you didn't really realise, but they were preparing you to not be a Premier League player, because they knew the reality of how many people were going to make it. So a lot of it was about being ready physically. A lot of the styles of play that we played was not
like the way it would be in the Prem kind of way.
Yeah, but also not like what the other academies were teaching.
Right, okay.
So we play Arsenal keeping the ball, we're smashing you up, bro. Like, I swear to God, teams would not want to come and play Leicester, especially at our place, because our coach, the coach of the 18s team, and from 15 you're preparing to be within that squad, like, he was very on gym, very on physicality. So we used to do one football session and one gym session. And I know for a fact, that was every day. I know for a fact that a lot of people who were in the academy system, they would do gym, but it wouldn't be like that.
To that extent.
The strongest I've ever been, the most I've ever been able to lift was probably 18 when I left Leicester. Because it was, you do football, you eat lunch, gym.
I'd love that. But yeah, you're right, I get it. Because I think, like you said earlier as well about, the heavier you are, the harder it is to run, right? So,
like, we had a coach who himself could probably run as far as us. So his expectation was you're doing what I'm doing.
Right. Let's hit another set on this. From music as a whole, who would it be? Like, who do you draw inspiration from?
I've stated it before in actual raps. Chance the Rapper was someone who I looked up to. People like Tyler the Creator too, because even though my music don't sound too similar to him, it's the way that they've built their own thing. Do you know what I mean? They're outside of the norm. Some people say they're weird, some people say they're... Do you know what I mean?
No bullshit, I do really like Chance.
He raps about his kids a lot. He raps about his responsibility as a man to his children, which is something that resonates with me too. Yeah.
I'm supposed to flip the question the other way. Who's your biggest inspiration in ball?
He actually played for Birmingham as well. Muzzy Izzet was the reason I wanted to play centre mid. He was Leicester's. He was my guy. Yeah. Like, he used to wear number 6, used to play centre mid. That's what I wanted to do. And a lot of people had I'm saying they had much better role models who won more shit and went on to do much bigger things. But for me, having a season ticket at Leicester from 6 years old, that's who I saw slapping it in top bins. So he was my guy. And then I guess my favourite midfielder that I've ever seen in the Prem is Yaya Toure.
All right. Wall runs and the ball. FIFA. You had a playable character?
Yeah, I did, yeah.
But on top of that, you had a song in FIFA?
Yeah.
Which one was more fulfilling?
Do you know what? They were both just as fulfilling at the times that they happened. Yeah. Because the FIFA, when I was a character on a game, is when Luton got promoted. So it went hand in hand with getting that promotion. Yeah. And that's like a thing. Like, you know, when you're a kid, you're like, I want to have a character. Yeah. Like, and then I wasn't. Say at that time, I wasn't so much focused on the music side of things. It wasn't even really a feasible goal for me at the time. And then when we got the song on the first time, which was Last Night, like that song for me was the best song they could have picked because it didn't have no big feature on it or nothing. It was produced by a guy who I'd been working with since I was 15. Yeah. The feature was my actual friend. Who I've been working with since I was like 15. And then the song itself is actually about going on tour for the first time. That's what the song was written about. So it was like a culmination of all those things in one song, and that's the one they chose. So like for me, when that happened and it was that song, I was like, this is actually a real moment in my career. And I didn't even actually really deep that I'd been on the game before. It was more so that I realised afterwards. And to be honest, FIFA didn't make a big enough. You need to get me like some special card or something like you need to get me one, man. You need to get me one because no one else has done that, and I can't see anyone else doing it anytime soon. You know when I said to you that like one summer, me and my boys just got on gym. Like they were gassing me, and they were like, "You can do 100, man. You can do 100. Like I'm sure you can." And I did 2 reps, and I was like, I felt like the man. I got up off the bench, and I was like, what? What? You know, like they like the PB.
That feeling.
The PB. Yo.
Who were the? I suppose it's a single question here for UK specifically, but who are the best 3 UK artists ever, in your opinion?
Artists or rappers?
Let's go rappers.
Kano. Kano was the first person that I listened to who I felt put across or had maybe the same writing process as me. I'm someone who grew up listening to like very conscious lyrical hip hop, Mos Def, Common, people like that. He was someone who I felt touched on those kind of subjects, but did it on a grime tempo. So when I first came out, I was trying to do hip hop lyricism in terms of double entendres and similes and stuff like that. On a grime beat. So he was the first person who I saw do that, and he's the first person who I tried to emulate in that sense. Another one who most people probably wouldn't get, or they would get, Roots Maneuver, right? Roots Maneuver was the first UK hip hop album my dad showed me, brand new second-hand, and he's just someone who was, or still is, incredibly poetic with the way that he writes. He's not in the confines of a specific genre. And then the other one is Kalashnikov.
Okay, I do know,
Right. He did hip hop, he was terra firma, he was a little bit like, I guess he never saw the heights that probably his talent deserved in terms of where UK music got to. But he has a song called Black Rose, right? And it's the first time I heard a UK rapper really be emotional.
I suppose that brings me on to another question, real quick. When it comes to like writing music, what's that process like? Is it something that can take months and months, or is it something that once you like find a bar in your head, it can flow really quickly and it can take a few days?
So that is a difficult question because that's something that I guess it becomes like muscle memory. Like when you first start out, like it's like you're actively trying to reach for something. Like you'll hear a beat and okay, what needs to come next? Nowadays, I kind of let the beat tell me what I'm supposed to say. I know how I'm feeling inside, and I need a piece of music to accompany that. So it always starts with the beat. And then the beat will tell me how I'm supposed to.
Is the beat like a canvas almost for an artist?
Yeah, except it's not blank.
Right. Okay.
Do you know what I'm saying? It will come with its own emotion.
Right. Okay.
So, or maybe it's a color palette.
I like it. I like the way. Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like maybe the drums is the canvas, but the mood of the instruments and stuff like that. Well, if it's supposed to be sad, you're gonna have a lot of blues and a lot of stuff like that in there. And if it's supposed to be happy or angry, red or orange or whatever, they'll be the colours that you get to paint with on the beat.
It's the longest you've ever sat on like an unfinished amount of like an unfinished track, and then brought it to completion. Like, have you had something in reserve for a long time that you finished 3-4 years later?
I wrote an album that's about grief.
Yeah.
It's about losing my best friend. My best friend died of cancer two and a half years ago now.
Yeah.
And I'm holding on to that whole album because I don't know. I know it needs to be heard.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I'm ready to share all them feelings yet.
With it.
So those songs there are at least 2.5 years old now.
Yeah.
So whether they come out anytime soon, I don't know. Yeah. But that's what I'm sitting on.
Do you find that with things like that, like you said, like losing your best friend, do you find that music is a positive output for you when it comes to that? It helps you get it out.
Yeah. Because there's a very select few people who share the grief that I felt, because everyone's grief is different, and the only people who really understand it are my closest friends. Even his family, they feel it deeper than me. So they might listen to what I'm saying and not feel it the same. And I've played it to my friends, and they're like, I don't know if this is for everyone, bro. And I'm like, surely it's got to be in some sense, because anyone who's felt this feeling can relate to it. Maybe they can't relate to me and how I feel, but it definitely helped a lot.
I think if you sit like, bro,
I think I'll play after the interview. I'll play some. I'll play some of it.
Exclusive. I can't wait. I actually can't wait. But yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm a fan. So like, for me, I'm gonna stand there and say you should put it out. Do you know what I mean? Because I want to hear music. But I understand how, for you in that aspect, and like you said, with the friends that are more personal to it, they're gonna have an opinion of it. Of, I don't know if this is for everyone. But that's what music is, bro. It's a way to output emotion, isn't it? It's an art form. It's an art form. So yeah, man, I get it. So I think, like, as a concept, especially you can see obviously from the outside, we can't really see in, but like, I feel like me just being a fan of music, the UK has people that have, in my opinion, made it that really aren't that.
I think no one gets anywhere without a certain level of work rate. You do actually have to have some kind of intention behind what you're doing, whether what you're doing blows people's minds or is just something for people to listen to and absorb that's easily translatable. The way that I'd put it, right, and I've had to use this analogy before in terms of music in general, the most eaten food in the world of a restaurant standard is McDonald's. But it's not the best food. It's just the most easily accessible and the most palatable to most people's taste buds. Michelin star chefs serve, let's say they serve 200 people a week in a tiny restaurant with food that not many people, some people would eat and say, this tastes crap. But at the end of the day, the talent that's gone into it, the sophistication of it is something that not everyone can absorb. So I would say it's like a lowest common denominator thing. What is the most easily accessible to the most people?
I don't know, mate. It's a weird concept. It's like I say, like, I just think, for me, like, as a fan of music, because I really am a fan of music, and I put so much time into music. I want to say I did, 25,000 minutes of music in the last 3 months. So my music, like, listing wise, is high. Do you know what I mean? I listen to a lot of music.
I posted something on Instagram the other day, which was aimed at one of my friends who I'd spoke to, and thankfully, like, he made a step in his life where he took loads of pressure off himself in a work environment and basically made a decision to do something that makes him happier. And I was super proud of him. But his biggest regret was he had stopped doing music because it didn't make money. And I was like, bro, everything that you do initially, like the first time you went gym, no, but one, it weren't to make money, but two, it was probably just for you. It was for you. It's like, yo, I need to make myself feel better about myself.
It was an output.
It
was an output.
And what could be a better reason than doing something for yourself to make yourself feel good? Do you know what I'm saying? So
I think the moment that it becomes something that you can monetize is just a bonus.
But the question I'll say to you is, just to touch back on that point, say if the camera's turned off, yeah, and the TikTok for some reason, and all the other means where you make your money, I don't know all of them, obviously sponsorships and stuff. Yeah. If they said, look, we ain't messing with you no more, you'd still go gym. Yeah. Because it's enough to. Yeah. It's enough. For
I'd go gym because I'd be angry. I need to go gym.
But my point is that you'd still do it for you. So there should never be. Doing it for yourself should be enough. Yeah, do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's a good point. It's a very good point. I've never used this machine myself, so I don't know. If you had to pick, I suppose we went UK specific, but like top 3 rappers worldwide, who are we going with?
Let me think. Common.
Yeah.
I think as a rapper for me, he's like the guy who, I don't know, man. Like he can say the most with the fewest words, and across so many subjects. Like you know what you spoke about that Joyner Lucas song. Yeah. So he's got a song featuring what's his name, CeeLo Green. Yeah. Sometimes I wish I. Anyway, it's basically him. His 3 subjects. One of them is about his ex-girlfriend, right? Yeah. Who was sexually abused, and them having a conversation about it in bed after they've had sex, right? Okay. The second verse is about his friend from school coming out to him and telling him that he's gay, and he's like, in our community, this is not something that's, do you know what I mean? Particularly common, and the way that we treat people who do is not that great. And then the other one's about his aunt dying of cancer. And when I heard that song, like the way that he managed to be so open and just quite frankly, like honest, vulnerable about these things that are such hard things to talk about. Even with your best friend, you'd find it hard. So he's talking about it to hundreds of thousands of people in a way that's so poetic and well put that I'd have to say Common. I would say from a rap standpoint, like just in terms of actual rap ability, Nas. Yeah. Just on everything. And then 50 Cent. Okay. 50 Cent, man, and like
I mean, look, he's still got the 50 Cent. He's still got the best rap album ever.
This is what I'm saying.
That album will never ever grow old.
For 3-4 years, where anything that he touched was just insane, and Many Men's one of the best rap songs ever, will always be. So I'd say them 3, yeah. I like
it. Yeah. He's putting in the work, you know. To be fair, it's quite a heavy machine. It's not a light machine. I think I'd struggle to stack it, and that's rare for me. It's very rare I struggle to stack anything, but I think I'd struggle to stack that. I did bench yesterday though. I benched 280 kilo yesterday, so
that's like over 3 of how much I weigh.
If you could collab with an artist in the UK right now, like on a track, who would it be?
I would love a song with Kano, because I've seen him put on so many different hats in terms of where he goes with rap. Yeah. So like it can be a chilled one, it can be a serious political one, it can be about him and the man them still in the ends, and there's so many references in the song that I don't get because I ain't from East London or whatever, but nonetheless the way that he raps is always sublime, and it's a collaboration I've wanted pretty much my whole career, bro.
Okay.
What's on this, bro? Yo, that felt a lot. It's hard to reach from back there.
Yeah, that's all it is. It's that initial stretch. It's fine once you got it on. Don't worry. It's fine now. It's fine now. It's fine. I could definitely get a stack on that though.
Is that when you say the stack, you just mean every weight on it?
Yeah, just stack it. Yeah. I'm pretty much just known for like trying to like overload every machine that's ever existed. I just like to put as much weight on anything as I can and see if I can do it. I guess it's like a, like let's see if I've got it in me kind of thing. When did you first start kind of like writing music?
I guess in its most simplest form, probably like 11. And I'm talking like, that's me and 5 of my friends stood around a beat on a phone with a little 8-bar. Like we'd go home, write the 8-bar. Some man would come with it on the paper, like, and we'd pick a beat. We'd all just stand around it and spit. I think the first time I ever wrote anything other than Just gas, really.
Yeah.
Like, at the time, it was gas because we're talking about shooting people now. We're 13 years old. It's not happening. We're not doing that. You know what I'm saying? Not even in adulthood did we do that. So, but like, first time I ever wrote something that I felt was really reflective of me was probably about year 9.
Okay. Do you remember the first bar? Can you remember like one that like to this day you remember as being like the most, I guess, a standout line that you wrote?
I wrote a song in year 8 that kind of got me a lot of respect on the playground.
Yeah.
It went, so boy, I'm moving trust. Sick tracks is a must. You're not moving blood, you're static. You can eat my dust, so boy. And then that was like the little 4-bar in the chorus.
Sick, yeah.
And I remember, like, I think it was probably the first time I ever heard someone who wasn't me playing my song on the playground. Like, someone else had it on the playground. And then from then, because we had a music studio in our school, innit, in the music tech lab, whatever it was, Like, from then, I would just try and put together as much as I could.
Yeah.
Did music tech, and probably by the time I left in year 11, I probably had like what you would call 3 albums.
That's
3
crazy.
albums. Like some of the,
God. Wow.
Art of Recycling, Nocturnal Sunshine. No, I only had two by the time I left year 11. But they were like 11 tracks. Go on, you can have a little exclusive, sorry. I don't know when this is dropping, but me and Wise are dropping an EP called It's About Time, which is a double entendre. So it's about time, but it's about time. It takes time. Yeah.
That sounds sick. Dropping when? Yeah, sure.
Before, no. Do you know what? I'm not gonna say before the end of second quarter. So
okay, that's good. Yeah. So basically before June. Before the end of June.
Before the end of June. Yeah.
What's been your most like fulfilling moment in music?
This is not. It was actually. Yeah. Like one of my favorite moments. P Money. Me and my boy, the one who passed away actually. Yeah. We went down to London to do a studio session with novelists, right?
Okay.
Song never came out.
Right.
Right? But he came nonetheless. And then we went to do a live show on Sir Spyro's show.
Right.
Right? So he came with me to that. And bless him, he's a shy guy. I remember P Money being stood there, right?
Yeah.
And he loved my boy. Loved him. Yeah. So he's gone to me. He's going, yo, come on, man. Yo. I said, what? He said, I beg you, ask P Money for a photo. I was like, I don't need a photo with P Money. Like, I know P, like, whatever. Like, and he was like, no, that's what we need. And I was like, bro, just go ask him, innit? Like, he's a blessed guy. Like, go ask him. Yeah. And he was like, no, man, I don't look like a neek, man. I don't want to be asking him for photos. I said, you look like a neek chatting to me, asking him to do it anyway. So I've gone and done it. They took a photo.
Yeah.
And I said, P, he said to me, because P's one of them people, who genuinely cares about music and is just a stand-up guy within the scene that I've met, right? He said, oh, what you got going on? What's your thing? Blah, 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 what you got going on? I said, actually, my tour starts next week, Like, would you be able to make one of the shows? And he was like, where? And I said, well, I ain't got a London show on the thing, but Leicester. Like, it'll be a sick moment for me, like, if you came out in Leicester.
Yeah.
He said, cool, send me the time, I'll be there. All right. So I told him the time. Me and my boy are practicing the set, like we're doing a thing at Pirate Radio. We're practicing the set, and we've left a gap. We did it for every show, so we had quite a few like guests come out at the shows. We had H came out at the one in Manchester. Izzy Gibbs came out in the one in Brom. I can't remember who came out in Bristol. Anyway, and the one in Leicester was for and Knott's Eyes came out.
Sick. Okay.
So, but the gap for the Leicester one, the gap was the same in every set. It was at the end of a particular song. Yeah. And this gap was for P Money, so we were mixing in 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Right. So that's happened. Anyway, on the day of the thing, I can't get a hold of him. I'm like, swear down, this guy's not gonna come, is he? So I'm doing the set, and I've got to my end. The song was, I think, Year of the Cam Dog. Yeah. Blends into 10 out of 10. Yeah. Right. And there's this door on the side of the stage where you can't see out of it, you can only see in. So like it's just a silhouette, like, and I'm like, bro, I'm looking at my DJ like, bro, what the P, bro? I'm like, oh, what am I gonna do? I'm just gonna have to spray on 10 out of 10 and then hope. Yeah. Anyway, I look like this and there's just a silhouette. And P's a big guy in the thing, silhouette there, yeah. It's P, bro. He's not said a word, bro. He's not messaged me the whole day.
Just rocked up.
And I've just turned around and he's come. 10 out of 10. I was like, no. I was gassed that he's come out. Everyone else is going nuts, instant wheel, whatever, like he does 10 minutes on the set. And the whole place is going nuts. And afterwards, I remember I said, bro, what do you want for coming up? Like, let me get this. He said, bro, just give me a bottle of Ciroc for the dressing room. I've gone up there to see him after the set. There's only like 15 minutes left after this bit. Bro, he's left the bottle of Ciroc with a note that says, congrats on your headline show. And he's just left it there and he's gone. And
what a guy, man.
So like that moment for me is one of the best moments of my career.
That's sick. That's so sick. I can imagine that as well, because even I just know if I was there and I watched P come out of that.
It was just like, because I was so I was like, what am I gonna do? Everyone's going nuts.
That's the thing that's been sick for me. Like when I started doing well, like PC specialists reached out, were like, yeah, can we send you this PC? So we had like 6 grand. And I was like, I'm not gonna say no. I'm like, for real, what kind of question is that?
For these kind of fields where things don't actually have that much revenue, like, yo, it's big when someone, like when I used to get packs from Nike, that was like one of the biggest things in my whole career.
Bro, that would.
When I got trainers from Nike, I was like, fucking
that's crazy. Even I'd be like that right now. I'd be absolutely waved. I think that'd be crazy. Right, we're at this part of the episode where Cam's gonna drop us a little, freestyle. Do you know what? I suppose the best way to put it is, have you got anything that no one's heard yet?
I got loads, bro.
Would you put some on camera?
Yeah. Go on then.
Sure.
Do you want a beat or no?
You want a beat? I was going to say that. Do you want a beat?
I'll let you pick the beat.
Really?
Yeah,
you want me to pick the beat? No, I don't like this. That's pressure.
Yeah.
Oh, that's pressure. Okay. I've gone for Naughty Violins, instrumental.
Yes.
I'm quite excited now.
All right. Okay. Yes. Look. Yo, see, I went on the roof at Deja. I was at Molden, Rinse and Radar. Always had the soul like Dela, but I've been an outcast like Hey Ya. And I'm still on the ball like Neymar. Rap kick ball, yeah, you know the trademark. Know how Cameron like Haymar. Man, get the wheel up before the 8 bar. Lyrics for lyrics, I'm A-star. Grew up on Potter and Chip and A-star. I see the top and it ain't far, but I can't front like living life ain't hard. Like I don't need a safeguard. From when my heart became scarred. Drive slow or brake hard. Gotta visit my brother in a graveyard. Leave 2 types of flowers there. Yo, Beefy, I feel your powers there. Minutes, they turn to hours there. Beefy, I feel your powers there. Leave 2 types of flowers there. Beefy, I feel your powers there. Minutes, they turn to hours there. Minutes, they turn to hours there. Look, I love seeing my boys become fathers and seeing them take care of their partners. I love seeing my boys turn to men, cause I know what we was on back then when Bro done a madness. Could've got 10, or if so-and-so got stopped by the lane with a boot from the yo. Allow it, I'm just grateful for all of my friends. I love seeing my daughters grow up, and I love seeing my girl be a mum. They must be a return on the karma for all the good things in life I've done. I love sitting in the home we built, knowing I'm blessed when hard times come. I know that gratitude is a must, and behind a cloud there's always sun.
Nah. Do you know what's mad? Yeah? Like, it's actually, do you know what's, it's actually like, I'm speechless. Do you know why? Because I suppose, I get an inkling now of what it's like when people meet me, in a sense of like people that love bench press and meet me, they're speechless. Yeah, to be around that kind of ability where someone I could just put something on, and that's fucking crazy, bro. That's insane. It's so mad how you can do that. That was incredible. And by the way, just a quick one take, like didn't have to think about it or nothing. I just pressed play and he's like, yo.
You said you wanted something that hadn't been heard.
Yeah, I know, I could tell.
That narrowed it down a bit.
Yeah.
That narrowed it down a bit. Yeah, man.
That's so wavy, bro. Listen, it's been an absolute pleasure. You're an absolute gem of a guy, by the way.
Respect, man.
Thank you for the insight into your life, by the way.
And you know what, as well, I want to say thank you to you, because on TikTok one time, you jumped in a thing and I was unaware as to who you were, right? And you blew up my in a way that you didn't need to do. Like, you reposted my stuff. You used your platform to elevate me, and some people won't do that for you. And I just wanted to say thank you genuinely for that. Just that specific
I'm
moment.
A lifetime fan, brother. So like, I'm always gonna post you always as much as I can. So yeah, but look, I when it came to episode 1, I had like 5-6 different options of people that I wanted for it. But like, as a lifelong fan of you, I just thought, yeah, Cam's the one to go with to just open it up. So again, pleasure, brother. Thank you, man.
Thank you.
Thank you. Stay tuned, guys. Episode 2 with Millions next week in Birmingham.